We have Dr. Spina sitting in the gallery here, which seems odd to all of us too. So welcome everybody. Call the meeting to order. Brian, are we good to go with our technology? Good. All right. So I'd like to remind everybody to please silence your electronic devices. And if you would, please stand and join me in the invocation and the pledge. Lord, we have so much to be thankful for tonight, and yet we are so much in need of your assistance. We are thankful that our city was spared the devastation of Hurricane Ian, and yet our neighbors to the south need your blessings more than ever. We are thankful for your protection over our first responders, and yet we pray for our friends in both Pinellas and Polk counties as they mourn the loss of deputy sheriffs killed in the line of duty. We recognize that we live in a world where great joy and deep sorrow exist side by side and are often separated only by a moment. Help us always to be grateful for our many blessings and to remember our universal duty to help those in need. Amen. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome, Mr. Baia. It's a pleasure to see you sitting up here with us. And we'll come back to you in just a moment. But first, we have a proclamation of 2022 Fire Prevention Week, and our Fire Chief, Ian Kemp, is here to explain. Welcome, Chief.
Hello. Chief, Mayor, thank you so much. As you might know, every time this year, Fire Prevention Week comes along, and I wanted to, obviously, we have the proclamation and recognize that this year is no different than any other. But also, I wanted to recognize and state that this Saturday is our open house from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Fire Station 1 and Fire Administration, located at 124 Bullard Parkway. So we certainly hope those that are listening and are in attendance tonight, please come by, bring your children, bring your grandkids, and it's always a great pleasure. It's we haven't had it for the last 2 years, so we're really excited to push it back out again.
Thank you, Chief, and we're very proud to proclaim this, and I will read the proclamation to you as soon as I get it.
Oh,
Keep talking.
But I do want to, I'm glad you're here, though, and it's okay, it's on the way.
oh, okay.
No,
I usually have a copy of it. My
No,
apologies.
That's all right. We've had a lot going on today, and I'm sure the public understands. But while you're here,
Yes, sir.
let me just say that this is appropriate anyway. As everybody knows, we just narrowly escaped the threat of Hurricane Ian. But that didn't mean that our city employees escaped all the work that goes with that. And so we activated our city's Emergency Operations Center, and all of our employees went into emergency operations mode. And under the guidance of our city's emergency manager, which is the Fire Chief, Ian Kemp. And so it was a difficult time. We've done this exercise all too often. Unfortunately, those who've been around for a while have done this before. But I just want to tell the public that you see the public works folks out filling the sandbags, and you see the sanitation workers out picking up the debris, and you see a lot of the workers that are visible to the community, and they do a tremendous job. They absolutely do a tremendous job, and they really worked hard. What you don't see are the directors and managers behind the scenes that are planning and organizing this whole thing so that it looks not easy, but it looks seamless. It looks like it happens automatically. But I'm here to tell you folks, it does not happen automatically. It happens because of the directors sitting out here, the fire chief, the police chief, and all the directors, public works directors, utilities, and we had some issues with stormwater, trees down, obviously. And so there's a lot of unsung heroes here. We have over 300 employees, and they all did a tremendous job. But the ones behind the scenes, the people that we don't see in finance and HR and all the people that are in the EOC or doing their work upstairs behind desks that we don't see, those are the folks that make sure that we have sand to put in the sandbags, or that we have trucks that are operable and ready to go out and pick up the debris, or that we have cash on hand to pay for the sand or to pay to dump the trucks. And so there's a lot of things that go on behind the scenes, and every single employee, every single director in the audience had a role to play in that. Some of them are not here because we have National Night Out, and we'll see them in a little while. But I just want to sing the praises of our directors here because they're behind the scenes. Nobody thinks that, you know, well, the finance director, they think of the people they see that are filling the sandbags. And so this council, all of us, not just me, we do understand what you did. We do understand your role in this. And Chief, we appreciate all of this. You're kind of the conductor of all of this, but this orchestra doesn't play unless you guys lead the music. And so thank you very much, and thank you, Chief, for your leadership.
Thank you. Can I just say one thing?
Sure.
I just want to say that, you know, this takes a team. You're correct. I'm the conductor, but let me tell you, from everybody from the police officers to finance to public works and you know, the shelter, the family shelter that we had set up. I mean, everybody played a part, and obviously because of the location of the EOC, you know, sleeping quarters were really difficult and cramped. But nobody complained. Nobody. We had people sleeping in every closet that we had across the bay, literally on our EMS closets. We had a TICO rep in another supply closet. It was, but nobody complained. Everybody did their job, and I attribute that, number one, to the support that we had from the city manager, the support we had from the incoming city manager, who was asking if there was anything that he could do, from the mayor and the council, and every single council member, along with the mayor, those that were in town, came by the EOC. And it's one thing to run an operation like that with no support, but there's another. It's a great feeling knowing that you had the backs of everybody. So my job was made a lot easier because of your support and I mean these employees here and directors, I just cannot say enough about. It was the best run, and we've had a few since I've been here, and I've attended. It was in an EOC and at another organization as well. This was the best run event that we've ever had at the EOC. It was a little scary at times, and I feel bad for those, and certainly Fort Myers Beach and Fort Myers area, and actually in the center of state as well. But rest assured, we were prepared, and we'll be prepared. Unfortunately, if there's another event like this again. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Chief. Okay, we still have the proclamation.
Oh, we do. Yes, sir.
You're tired from all your storm activities. You're eager to sit down. So, proclamation is whereas the city of Temple Terrace, Florida is committed to ensuring the safety and security of all those living in and visiting Temple Terrace. Fire is a serious public safety concern. Residential homes are where people are at greatest risk from fire. And whereas house fires caused 2,265 civilian deaths in the United States in 2021, according to the National Fire Protection Association. And whereas when the alarm sounds, residents may have less than 2 minutes to safely escape. Residents who have planned and practiced a home fire escape plan are more prepared and will therefore be more likely to survive a fire. And whereas residents should practice their house fire escape plan with everyone in the household, including visitors, and teach children to escape on their own in case adults can't help them. Now therefore I, Andrew Ross, by virtue of the authority vested in me as mayor of the city of Temple Terrace, Florida, do hereby proclaim October 9 through 15, 2022 as 2022 Fire Prevention Week. Good. Chief? right, Mr. Baia, I told you we would come back to you, and I'm going to come through on our promise here. So, as everybody should know, I think everybody watching probably knows, we have been conducting a national search for a new city manager for quite some time. And we are very pleased and proud of the results of that search. And we'd like to welcome Mr. Carlos Baia and his family to our wonderful city. They most recently come to us from New Hampshire, so I think they're going to enjoy our moderate weather, although we gave you quite an introduction last week. But we are thrilled to have you here. We're thrilled to have your family here with us, and we look forward to the next chapters of our city and working together with you as a team to move our city forward. Dr. Spina has done a tremendous job and really set us up for success, and I know that you're going to continue along that line. So if you would, I'm not sure how we're doing this, right? I think you're going to get sworn in up here, and I believe Mrs. Baia is going to do the honors. No, get back in here, get back in.
Just, Andy, do you want to?
Oh, well, I guess not.
He's never had to do that.
Whoa.
Sorry.
Whoa.
I've been booted out of that seat before.
Repeat after me. I, Carlos Baia,
I, Carlos Baia,
having been appointed to the position of city manager by the City Council
having been appointed to the position of city manager by the City Council
of the City of Temple Terrace, Florida,
of the City of Temple Terrace, Florida,
do solemnly swear that I will faithfully and impartially discharge
do solemnly swear that I will faithfully and impartially discharge
and perform the duties of that office to the best of my
and
abilities,
perform the duties of that office to the best of my abilities,
that I will support, uphold, and defend the Constitution
that I will support, uphold, and defend the Constitution
and the laws of the United States of America and of the state of Florida,
and the laws of the United States of America and the state of Florida,
and the charter and code of ordinances of the City of Temple Terrace,
and the charter and code of ordinances of the City of Temple Terrace,
that I am a resident of the City of Temple Terrace,
that I am a resident of the City of Temple Terrace,
and that I am qualified to hold the office of city manager,
and that I am qualified to hold the office of city manager,
to which I have been appointed, so help me God.
to which I have been appointed, so help me God.
Please, sit down. All right, let's squeeze in here.
Squeezing in works.
Let's get everybody in here so they know who to throw the darts at.
I can stand still while I'm standing on the 1, 2, 3. Perfect.
Congratulations. Mr. Baia, would you like to say a few words?
Certainly. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of council, everyone present, staff, members of the community. I know people say it a lot, but I'm truly humbled to be selected as your city manager. It's a wonderful community. I'm learning about it every minute of every day going forward right now. I think there's a great amount of potential, and I see so much that can be accomplished here with your leadership, and I want to thank you for that opportunity.
Thank you, and we're happy to have you aboard and happy to have your family here too. So now's the bitter part of the evening's festivities here, and that is we would like to recognize our interim city manager, Dr. Steve Spina. Steve, would you please come up? So, I don't know, I've got a script here, but it just doesn't sound right. Steve, I don't even know what to say. I mean, we met earlier, we had an employee reception, and everybody said their formal goodbyes, although you're with us until Friday, but As I said earlier this afternoon, it's really hard, I think, for all of us here to remember that we've only really worked together for 8 months or so, and it seems like it's been a long time, and not because it's been terrible. But we've come a long ways together, and you have tackled some really huge issues for us. And you know, I remember when we first contracted with you to provide interim services, Chief Albano was the acting city manager at the time, and we had talked to you. I know I talked to you on a couple of occasions and said, you know, we're not looking for a placeholder. We want somebody who's going to help us to start moving forward until we identify the permanent city. We don't want to just stand still and wait until the fall when somebody comes in and just keep the lights on and payroll going. And we want somebody to help us start the journey of moving forward. And not only have you done that, but you've far exceeded what I think all of us expected. And so we've come much further along in the past 8 months than I ever really expected that we would. And probably in spite of my interference, and I'm sure I was frustrating with you at times, but you've made some difficult decisions. You haven't shied away. The employees very quickly fell in love with you. I think the council has very quickly fallen in love with your leadership. The community has really embraced you. And we really hate to see you go. I mean, we're thrilled to death to have Carlos aboard, but we're going to miss you too. So we did get you a plaque. I'll read that for the public and the viewers. It says, Dr. Stephen Spina, Interim City Manager 2022, in grateful appreciation for your outstanding service to the City of Temple Terrace, presented by the Mayor, City Council, employees, and the citizens of Temple Terrace. You will be missed.
Thank you, Mayor.
Come on, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Cheryl?
If I may, while you're lining up, I'd just like to thank you for the opportunity to serve this city. It's been an honor. I appreciate the trust you put in me, and it's been a total pleasure for me. And this is definitely a bittersweet moment, but I'm pretty confident you're in good hands, and I look forward to reading good things about you. Thank you.
Well, your wife says it's more sweet than bitter. All right, let's gather in again.
I'm hiding my t-shirt behind the mirror.
Doing a good job, Mary.
Thank you again.
Thank you. All right, thank you.
I was gonna say, my tablet.
So all the hellos and goodbyes are done. What's next? Consideration of minutes from previous meeting. Approval of the September 20th. We have a motion?
Second.
Motion and second. Any discussion or corrections to the minutes? All those in favor signify with aye. Aye. Any opposed? Minutes are approved. Persons wishing to be heard on items not listed on the agenda or items on the consent agenda. 3-minute time limit will be imposed on all comments from the public. We do ask that speakers come to the podium, state your name and city of residence, and we like to reassure everybody that your public comments are taken seriously by the city manager, your elected officials, and the directors in attendance, and we do follow up on these issues. I currently have no requests to speak. Or are there members of the public who wish to address the council at this time? Okay. So, a couple of announcements. We are leaving here in a few moments, and we are headed over to National Night Out, and the public is certainly welcome and invited to that. It is at Mission Hill Church, which is right down the road on 56th Street. It started at 6 o'clock and will go to 8 p.m. It's at 10002 North 56th Street, and we hope that everybody who's watching will head there after the meeting is over. In fact, you could start now and we'll give you a head start. Also, City of Temple Terrace will host a candidate forum for 5 individuals running for City Council in the upcoming general election. The forum will take place from 6 to 8 p.m. on Thursday, October 6th, day after tomorrow, at the Omar K. Lightfoot Center, which it also is right down the road on 56th Street at Whiteway, at 10901 North 56th Street. The format will be like this. There'll be a 30-minute public meet and greet with the City Council candidates prior to the start of the event. The doors open at 5 p.m. So at 5:30, public is welcome to come and informally interact with all 5 of the candidates who will be there. The 5 candidates are James Chambers, who obviously is an incumbent, Allison, these are alphabetical order, Allison Fernandez, Robert Friedman, Gil Schisler, who is our current vice mayor, who is an incumbent, and Brandon Smith. There are 3 seats to be filled on the council. Councilmember Donahue is met the term limit, so she's not eligible for re-election until she sits out for 2 years. Then you are. Forum attendees are invited to submit questions until 5:45 at the event. So if you get there at 5:30 and you're chatting with the candidates and you think of a question, you'll have 15 minutes to get that question in. Resident questions will be selected at random and posed to each of the candidates by a moderator. That moderator will not be one of us. It will not be a city official. There will be an outside neutral moderator. There will be no audience participation during the forum, so you'll have an opportunity to interact with the folks at the beginning informally, but you won't be able to ask your own questions. You have to submit them in writing. At 6 p.m., the candidates will present opening remarks, after which the moderator will direct questions to each of the 5 candidates. The event will close with candidate summations and end promptly at 8 p.m. These things tend to, every one of these I've ever been to, there's a tendency for them to want to go on and on and on and on and on. So it will end at 8 p.m. Questions also may be submitted through close of business tomorrow on cards at the Lightfoot Center, the Family Recreation Complex, which is on Whiteway, and the Temple Terrace Public Library down on Bullard Parkway. The forum will be recorded and it will be posted on the city's YouTube page, YouTube channel, not page, channel. So, any questions from the public about the candidate forum? Okay. The next item is Saturday, October 8th. That's this coming Saturday from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. The fire department open house will occur at Station 1, which is down next door to the library on Bullard Parkway, and it will be held in conjunction with Temple Terrace Reads from 9 to 12. The open house will go from 9 to 1. It's a really neat event. If you are a Temple Terrace resident or you're watching and you haven't been to this event, I would really encourage you to come. It's really cool. All right, they show you some of all their equipment, and they put on some really neat demonstrations, and it's enjoyable. Everybody who goes always raves about it. So, oh, that's great. So, the next event is Saturday, October 29th at 9 a.m., and that's the Walk with the Mayor event. And the real interesting part of that is not that you walk with me. That's not the interesting part. The interesting part is the route of the walk, because we start at Billy Graham Preservation Park, which is at 913 North River Hills next to Florida College. But the route that we walk is really neat because it walks you by some of the historic homes and buildings in Temple Terrace that are kind of consolidated in that one area. And we have our city historian who walks with us, and she's a wealth of information, and oftentimes the residents of the homes come out and they greet us because they see all these people standing out in front of their house looking at it, and so they come out wanting to know what we're doing, and they wind up telling you stories about their homes. So that's really neat too. Again, it's not cool because of me, it's just cool because you get to hear the stories about the homes. And the last one I want to mention is that same day, October 29th. It's the Fall Festival at the Family Recreation Complex, which is at 6610 Whiteway Drive. It will be on soccer field number 1. That is also a very neat event. There's always a lot of fun at that. There's displays and stuff, so it's a great community builder. These are the things, Mr. Baia, that you'll find make Temple Terrace a really special place, is that we have a lot of these kind of events. And if you're a newcomer to Temple Terrace, you don't stay that way for long. Before you know it, you know everybody because you've been to these events, and then you go to the grocery store and it goes on and on and on. So it's not a good place to live if you don't like friends, because it's a very friendly city. So I feel like I've done a public service commercial here, so, all right. Is there any other business to come before the council tonight? Directors, anything? Public, citizens, anything? Council members? City clerk, city attorney? We're good?
I just have one comment.
Oh, Councilmember Donahue.
I know that tonight is, our Jewish friends in the community are celebrating Yom Kippur, which is a very high holy day for them, and we are with them in unity tonight. Thank you.
Thank you for bringing that up. Thank you. Anything else to come before the council? If not, I will adjourn the meeting and we'll head to the National Night Out. See everybody there.